One of the most popular requests that I often get from Excel users during a seminar is, can you show us how to do mail merge in Excel? Hi, my name is Raphael and welcome to another edition of Excel in 365. In this video, I'll walk you through the mail merge process that's actually done in Microsoft Word. First of all, I'd like to clear a common misconception and the misleading title of this tutorial. Mail merge is not done in Excel. Mail merge is done in Word. How Excel plays a role in the mail merge process is that the database, or the list of people's names and addresses, etc., is maintained in an Excel workbook. But just to repeat myself, mail merge is done in Microsoft Word. Let's begin with the Excel file that houses the database. This is where I keep an updated list of people's names, addresses, the city, state, etc. If you take a close look at my second recipient over here, you'll notice that he vacated his residence a few years ago, but he hasn't had an opportunity to update his current address. And on the next line, I know that most of you think that Joe Namath does not hold the title of Sir, but in my opinion he is considered royalty. Hey, don't judge me, and God bless the New York Jets. Alright, enough with the frivolities, let's continue. I'd like to point out down here that I have several worksheets. Each worksheet has a different name. Each worksheet may contain a different database. I will point out later on how these worksheet names are relevant when I'm creating my mail merge. Now let's launch a Word document. On the ribbon, go to the Mailings tab. Let's start on the left side with Start Mail Merge. Notice first of all that all these buttons are inactive or grayed out. I click on the drop down and I select an option of what type of mail merge I'm going to perform. Here I'll choose envelopes for my example. Next, select recipients. I have an option to select an existing list. This is where I bring in my Excel file into the picture. You can have one database file or you can have multiple database files. It's really up to you. Remember the Excel file that I showed you had 3 separate worksheets where I housed different databases? Here is where I get to select which worksheet I want to work with. If your worksheet has headers on the top row, make sure that this box is checked. Otherwise, the header becomes part of the data that is extracted during your mail merge. So far, it looks as if nothing has happened. There is nothing really visible that tells me that I have opened an Excel file or that I'm working with an Excel file. However, you can see that these buttons are now active. Behind the scenes, Word is pointing to an Excel file and to a specific worksheet. Let's continue. From the Edit Recipient list, you can select to work with the entire database, or you can work with 1 or 2 names on the list if you prefer. Otherwise, I'm ready to insert the fields into my envelopes. I'll start with the first name. Before I select the field for the last name, make sure that you insert a space first. Otherwise, the first name and the last name will be joined as one. Next, I'll select the last name. I'll press Shift and Enter. On the second line, I'm selecting the mailing address. I'll press Shift and Enter again. On the third line, I'm selecting the city, space, the state, another space, and finally the zip. Now I can preview the results. I can choose to jump to the next record so I can see how they all look like before I choose to start printing my envelopes. I notice that with Joe Namath, his title is not appearing. After all, we do want to have the Sir appear on the envelope. Make sure that the pointer appears before the letter J. Click back on the Insert Merge Field drop-down and select the title. This will add the title not just for Joe but for all the names selected in your mail merge. Now you are ready to finish and merge. When I select Print Documents, I can choose to print all my envelopes or the current one selected. And there you go. Easy peasy. I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you again in another edition of Excel in 365.